So it is now official that Mikal Bridges has not won the Defensive Player of the Year award, and honestly, it really does suck, especially as a Suns fan, but I would just like to say that I think me and a lot of other people that weren't just Suns fans would honestly agree that Mikal Bridges should have won the award. Now before I start this, let me just clarify that this is not a hate video towards Marcus Smart. By the way, he fully deserved the award and I only have positive things to say about him. I can't really tell you anything negative about Marcus Smart. The fact that a guard won it for the first time since Gary Payton, which was in the 90s, is honestly insane to me. For a while now, you guys have seen that I've been on this trend saying that I believe that a lot of perimeter defenders don't get enough credit, and this is finally the credit they're getting and that they deserve. However, I feel like it's still my justice to say that I believe Mikal Bridges should have won the award, and I want to give you guys a reason why. Now before I do get into the video, if you guys leave a like on this and subscribe to the channel if you're new, notifications on. I'm trying to 100,000 subscribers on this channel by the end of the year. Also, I'm going to be incorporating a face cam in these next couple videos. I'm trying to try out a new style, so if you guys do like it, please tell me in the comment section below. If you hate it, I'll just go back to footage and commentary. But yeah, with all that being said, let's get into the video. First off, one of the arguments for Marcus Smart winning the Defensive Player of the Year was, oh, the best defender on the best defensive team, which isn't fully true, but I kind of understand it. I personally think Robert Williams is the most important defender on that team. However, though, it kind of does backtrack my argument where I said that perimeter defenders don't get enough credit, and obviously Robert Williams is a center, so he's more of an interior guy. Also, it's not like the Suns where, for example, the Suns gap on being the best record and the best team in the NBA is really far out right now. The gap between Boston being the best defensive team isn't really that far. That's the thing. And also, it does kind of contradict the Devin Booker argument because a lot of people said, oh, you know, best player, best team, Devin Booker should win MVP. And yet we're saying this about Marcus Smart, and Marcus Smart wins it, but Booker doesn't win it. And even though I have vouched for Nikola Jokic the whole year, it is a little weird that the MVP is probably going to get swept 2 years in a row in the first round. Let that sink in. The MVP of the league is going to get swept in the first round 2 years in a row. Now this year, I could understand, but still, like, it doesn't fucking excuse it. I mean, I promise you, Booker is not getting swept in the first round. I mean, it's not possible that he won game one, but still, you know what I'm trying to say. Then again, the meaning of winning is no longer there in the MVP award, so it would just be a whole dumb argument for me to try to even bring that up. Also, I personally think Mikal Bridges is a better defender than Marcus Smart. I've seen Marcus Smart struggle against some of the top players. I haven't seen anyone really cook Mikal. Obviously, there's moments Mikal isn't perfect, but he's locked up every superstar you can think of. I mean, versus all these players, the whole entire season, he has locked down so many superstars. He's had Damian Lillard go 12 for 25 and just 28 points. De'Aaron Fox went 4 of 13 on 8 points. Steph Curry went 2 of 12. LaMelo Ball, 11 points on 4 of 11 from shooting. James Harden, 1 of 9, 8 points. The person that scored the most points has been CJ McCollum, who went 5 for 12. If you can't tell, he has the ability to lock up superstars. I'm not saying Marcus Smart doesn't have the impact, however, Mikal does it better. On top of that, Mikal has the assignment of guarding the other team's best player, and he's done it pretty well. So the fact that Mikal Bridges isn't even getting that is honestly kind of insane to me. On top of that, they didn't really cover that, and the gap between Marcus Smart winning and Mikal was about 20 to 30 votes, which isn't as big like with Monty Williams and Taylor Jenkins and Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. But still, a lot of people had him in second place instead of first place. When it came to the second place votes, a lot of people had a little bit more Mikal, which, truth be told, a lot of people kind of just forgot about Mikal Bridges, and we started pushing this Marcus Smart narrative late in the season, which I don't know how this happened. The whole year, I thought it was either going to be like Giannis, Rudy Gobert, and maybe Draymond Green, but obviously he got injured, so it's going to be very hard for him to get it. But Mikal Bridges is Iron Man. The man has stayed healthy throughout the whole regular season, and I think we should note that because Marcus Smart has dealt with injury, Draymond Green went through injuries, Rudy Gobert went through injuries, but Mikal Bridges has stayed consistent throughout the whole year, and some of these guys haven't. Smart wasn't dominating like this at the beginning of the year and the middle of the year. He made a push towards the late end of the year. Meanwhile, Mikal Bridges has stayed consistent the entire season and has played at the same level, which, by the way, is a very high level. I would also like to bring up Mikal Bridges' impact when it comes to the stats because some people need stats in their face, so here they are. For example, he was top 10 in defensive win shares. He was also a very big reason why the Suns had one of the best defensive net ratings, and they were only down to Boston, which is supposed to be the best defensive team, by literally 0.5. On top of that, he was in the 99th percentile of the most difficult defensive matchups that were assigned. I mean, he's literally guarding the other team's best player every single night, so does it really surprise you? Because it doesn't surprise me. Let's also note the fact that so many people like Josh Hart, Damian Lillard, Draymond Green, who was at one point the defensive player of the year, have all vouched for Mikal Bridges to win it, and it's crazy to me that a lot of voters are just completely ignoring it. I mean, it is the NBA media, so what the fuck are you gonna do? Like, they literally control the voting. It's not like I can just say, oh, they're a scapegoat. Like, they literally control the MVP and all the awards. They vote for them. They have the only say, which, by the way, in the future, I think we definitely need to change. Like, seriously, half these guys haven't even watched a Phoenix Suns game at all this season, unless it was versus a team like the Warriors or the Lakers. Other than that, though, they probably didn't watch those games. If you were to ask me, I think Mikal Bridges is easily, no doubt in my mind, one of the best defenders in the NBA, and we have to put him top 5. And he's doing this consistently. He is the one defender this year, besides maybe Matisse Thybulle, that I haven't been able to take on my top 5, and he's consistently been there. I mean, I just can't say that about other players. I will say, though, I do feel kind of bad for CJ McCollum, because now that Mikal Bridges did not win the Defensive Player of the Year, I'm sure that there's a fire under his ass, and he's going to go off and just completely shut down CJ McCollum and just play well for the entire series. Now, Mikal Bridges didn't have any animosity towards Marcus Smart, which I didn't expect him to come on and be like, oh, fuck you, you know, you won the Defensive Player of the Year when I should have. I mean, I didn't expect that, at least, you know, that's just me. However, I don't think that you guys should mess with the Phoenix Suns and try to make them mad, because it seems like they're already pissed off and they have a mission that they're on right now. I just want to make this video because I know a lot of people expected me to be like, oh, Marcus Smart is bad and he shouldn't have won it, but honestly, Marcus Smart fully deserves it. But I'm just saying, in my unbiased opinion and seeing everything I've seen throughout the year, I think Mikal Bridges should have won it. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised this Marcus Smart narrative got started so late in the season compared to Mikal, who had a run at the beginning, and then towards the middle / half end, like 3/4 of the way, we were saying, hey, maybe Mikal should win it. I think Marcus Smart was the one player I actually did not expect to win it. I'm just gonna be completely honest. But yeah, no, shout out to Marcus Smart and shout out to Mikal Bridges, two of the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, and arguably the best perimeter defenders in the NBA, 1 and 2. You could put 1 or. I'm just gonna put Mikal at 1 because I've seen him do better. I think everyone can just admit that we think Mikal Bridges is the defensive player of the year, but honestly, the fact that he went from someone that didn't make an all-defensive team to now being arguably the defensive player of the year that didn't win it, I would just like to say that this should show a lot of improvement, and that next year, God knows what's gonna happen. Every year, Mikal Bridges has improved as a defender, and I think that's something that we need to know. Truth be told, I cannot tell you what his ceiling is, and I don't think he's the best defender in the NBA right now, so he has improvements he can make, because if we want Mikal Bridges to improve his game from where he's at right now, I'm telling you, he's going to shut down every superstar in the league. I mean, shit, it's not like he already hasn't done it yet.